What's going on, everyone? Josh or Miho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the debut album from the band Primitive Man entitled Scorn. This is self-released. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they're based out of Denver, Colorado, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very dark, noisy, sludge-inspired style of doom metal. I first got wind of this band by way of the band Clinging to the Trees of a Forest Fire. If you haven't heard that band, I definitely suggest you look them up and listen to them. Probably one of the rawest, most feral grindcore bands you'll ever hear, and one of the very best. I found out their singer, Ethan, was going to be doing vocals and playing guitar for this project, and that really piqued my interest because if you think of Clinging to the Trees of a Forest Fire, they consider themselves funeral grindcore. Not only for the fact that they're grindcore, but they incorporate elements of doom, sludge, even death metal to an extent. It's just very crazy, unique metal styles being brought together and played. And it only made me wonder how he was going to approach doom metal this time around. Not to mention, he was also in the band Death of Self, which was another great grindcore band that is no longer active, if I'm not mistaken. Now we get to this brand new project entitled Primitive Man and their debut album, Scorn. It's 7 tracks, and it clocks in at around 39 minutes in length. And honestly, once you get past the opening guitar tuning on the title track and all the way through, you're going to be in for one very unique and interesting piece of doom metal. Not every single song is long, but the songs that are showcased here definitely show the kind of uniqueness and craziness this band has to offer. They can go from straight out crushing doom 1 minute to just straight up harsh noise the next. There's just a lot of craziness going on with this album, and that's what makes me enjoy it a lot. The guitar work on here is extremely fluid. I really enjoy the riffs on this album. They are very heavy, just the way that it's toned. It has a very deep, crazy kind of heavy tone to it. Like on the opening track, the title track, the riffs on that track are just absolutely jaw-dropping. Just amazing, the kind of riff work that's being executed on there. To even the following track, Rags, the riff work is done a lot differently, but the way that it's played and executed just sounds really, really righteous. And when you do hear the guitar work, it is played very tremendously. Same can be said for the bass. I really enjoy the bass tone a lot. It's played very clearly, very smoothly. It blends in nicely with the guitar. No overproduction or shoddiness. I really enjoy this bass tone a lot. The drums are very different in style because you have your traditional kind of doom metal sounding drums, very slow, very methodical, and very dirge-like. But yet it's played with such brute force. You have to stand back in awe of what you're experiencing and what you're listening to. The slower moments of this album definitely are crushing, in my opinion, to even some of the more mid-paced, sludgier kind of stuff, like on tracks like Rags and Stretched Thin. Some of the more mid-paced moments on this album definitely work. And I should also mention songs like I Can't Forget and Black Smoke. Those are the 2 noise tracks of this record, and they definitely hold your attention and make this album a lot more interesting, because you have your traditional kind of doom metal styles and sludge styles, but yet once you get to the noisier tracks, you're pretty much thrown for a loop. You don't know what to expect or how to feel, but it's crazy, and I think it works for this style of project. And vocal-wise, Ethan is such a monstrous singer. Just the way he bellows out his vocals is fantastic, because if you've heard his grindcore stuff, he has a very raspy, depraved, high-pitched kind of screaming vocal style, but this time around, for Primitive Man, his vocals are a lot deeper, a lot more cavernous, and a lot more bellowing, but the way he delivers his words is just top-notch, top-tier stuff. Very crushing vocal style, very angry and very powerful. Songs like Scorn, Antietam, just his vocal performances on those tracks are just stunning and amazing. I really enjoy this guy's vocals. He is one of my favorite vocalists in metal. Not just in grindcore, but just metal as a whole. One of my favorites to listen to. So overall, this is an extremely solid debut album. Very unique, very different as far as Doom is concerned. It isn't your traditional type of Doom record. This album does have a lot of different boundaries, and if you're willing to try something different, Primitive Man is definitely the band for you to check out. If I'm not mistaken, the vinyl of this album is currently sold out stateside. I do think it is available in Europe by way of Throat Ruiner Records. You can buy it from there if you happen to live overseas, or if you want to pay the extra money to buy it from overseas. I believe Relapse Records is going to be reissuing this album sometime in July. I'm getting all this from their Bandcamp, by the way. I was going to post a link to their Bandcamp page, which I still will. You can buy it digitally as well for when that time comes around. But I believe Relapse is going to be reissuing this so that way people can get a hold of it to maybe buy it and listen to it. So once that time does come around, definitely pick this up. This is some legitimately unique stuff. If you're into doom metal, sludge, crust, noisy stuff, Primitive Man is the band for you to check out. So again, the album is Scorn by Primitive Man. This is self-released. Hopefully it will be released again. And for the time being, I'm going to give this a very solid 9 out of 10. This is some very amazing stuff. So support Primitive Man. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for sharing my channel. And until the next time, Army Ho out.